When we were just a little channel from debuted with 2 seasons.
From seasons 1 to 3, the big question is, how many more are there going to be? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We are waiting, we are anticipating season 3 of From. Despite not really enjoying season 2, I mean, it started off pretty good, it went downhill, they renewed it for season 3. But the question is, will it end in season 3? Is this show's time up after season 3? Or can it go even more? And I think it all depends on what the story is, what the end game is. But I'm not sure they even know what the end game is. And I think that is a disaster for making television. I think when you start your series, you should probably know what the beginning is and you should know what the ending is. I think when you begin the story and you have no idea what the ending is, it's a recipe for disaster, and sometimes you can get lost in the middle, and sometimes you can be cancelled or not renewed by the network before you even get to finish what the story is. And I think that's what we're dealing with From here. I like the concept. I liked the first season. I thought it was great. I was intrigued. I liked the mystery. I liked the how did this happen and what's going to happen next. I wanted them to solve the whole force that was keeping them in this place, the evil behind it. I wanted to know what was going to happen, and I get it, you know, it's a slow reveal. They ain't just going to reveal, they ain't going to just throw all the eggs out of the basket in one go. But season 2 pretty much told us nothing. We went into season 2 expecting to get some secrets, expecting to get some answers, some clues, and all we really found out was that it is possible to kill the evil people, the dead people, the monsters. We found that you can possibly kill the monsters, but that's it. We didn't find out anything really about how they got there or how you escaped. Now, at the very end, we did see Tabitha get pushed out the lighthouse, but that was like a cliffhanger. That didn't reveal anything. Yeah, it might have revealed that she's made it out, but again, we don't know. That could be a hallucination. That could be a dream. It could be anything. I wouldn't be surprised if she wakes up 2 minutes into season 3 and she's still in that town. So yeah, no, for me, I think season 2 needed to do a better job of setting up season 3, and it hasn't really done that. It gave us a little tease at the end, but season 3 for me, we're still waiting for most of the answers that we should have got in season 2. And I think if season 3 isn't a fast improvement on season 2, then I'm not sure we'll get a season 4. And I'm not sure many people want to see a season 4, because I think season 2 would have turned quite a few people off this show.
Yeah, and the problem is, it's not on a good network here in the UK, it's on Sky Atlantic, but I mean, if you've got Sky Atlantic, you probably need your hard drive checked, to be honest. In America, if you're not on the top networks, I think it's hard for it to get known, and it's not really known. Like, you see all these actors, we've talked about it before, they're not known, apart from big Harold Perrineau, right? He's the only guy that's known, and I'm not going to pretend he's a rock star.
Anyone I've asked, do you watch From? They're like, what's From?
Yeah, and that is summed up, right, by a comment on a poll we put up. We'll get to the results in a minute. But Andrew Smith said, From B, never heard of it. Is it any good? Who streams it? Amount of shows to watch. He actually thought the name of the show was From B, and then he's never heard of it, and he's asking if it's any good. But importantly, he's saying, who streams it? I think even if you haven't watched the show, you'll know who streams that. If it's like a top show. Like, we obviously were watching Game of Thrones, but I always knew it was HBO.
Yeah, you just know these things. HBO, AMC, FX, those are the kind of main ones. Then obviously you've got some ones that are below that, but I mean, we're talking what? MGM or whatever?
MGM Grand.
Come on, that's a poor ass network. There's
yeah,
not many
I've
good
heard
shows on
obviously
that.
there's Stars as well, but if I'm thinking of the 3 top networks for TV, it's
HBO, AMC, FX.
Yeah, it's definitely those 3. Obviously, HBO is like a paying service, so maybe that's the premium one out them. You know, it delivers great shows like Sopranos, The Wire, and Game of Thrones with the wee fuzzily television effect. But
of course, you have Netflix now as well.
Yep.
Which,
like you said, they're all
streaming.
They're all pants of their movies.
But you could argue that you're better being on Netflix than you are some low-end broadcaster, because pretty much everyone has Netflix. Pretty much everyone has access to Netflix, and I think being on Netflix, you're more likely to get shown to a wider audience as well.
Yeah, totally agree. But we did put this up for a poll whether or not season 3 would be the final season. Only 49 votes, but that's irrelevant because it was on a knife edge, and it was 51 saying yes, 49 saying no, and I think that pretty much sums it up. I think it is on a knife edge. I think it could literally be the flip of a coin. Season 3, I think they will continue their shitebag route of, oh, you know what, we'll keep the mysteries just to get them to renew the network.
But the problem is that they don't know what they're going to do, so I think season 3 they have to up the pace. I think they have to go through it faster than they would have liked. If they'd set up more groundwork in season 2, then I think season 3 they could have just done it like a normal season. But for me now, we're just going to have to see them speed up the process, because I'm not sure that they can just assume that they're going to get a season 4. That might not happen. And I think the worst thing that can happen to a TV series is for it not to be finished, for it not to be complete, and then they just scrap it and you never get your ending.
Yeah.
For me, that absolutely sucks. And I know it almost happened with Mayans, and that's the reason Mayans had to end in season 5, because they wanted a season 6 and they didn't think they were going to get one. And the last thing they wanted was an unfinished show. And that could be what we see with From. I wouldn't be surprised if From... Now, sometimes you can do an ending, like an open ending, which kind of gives you not a definitive ending, but you get some sort of closure, but also the possibility of it being left open in case you want to do more. You can do that, but I don't really like them. That's kind of leaving the door slightly ajar. I just want a good ending, all right? I want an ending. I want to know what happens. I don't want to be sitting there thinking 10 years later, oh, I wonder if they'll ever bring From back for a 4th season. I don't want to be thinking that. I just want to know what the ending is right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
And if they can't get a season 4, then I think you should always be one season ahead. See, going in to your next season, I think you should know whether or not you've got a season 100% confirmed after that.
Absolutely, but season 3 is underway, the filming. Big Harold confirmed this. He's like the only actor we know, the only actor that tweets about the show. It's confirmed. Will season 4 be confirmed? I'm going to go ahead and say no. I'm not saying as in soon, I just don't think it'll go ahead. I think they'll, like you said, an open book ending. But I think the way season 2 ended, it's almost open as, it's always just the typical, like, Walking Dead fashion of cliffhanger. Get the viewers in for the premiere, and then they automatically die off because the interest is away at the window. It's the Walking Dead format for From, but we'll be back very soon. 2024 is the year for season 3, but until next time, peace.